You see, it isn't that a cell phone in and of itself is evil. It's that they knew in the 80s when they deployed them, and there were studies, and we've covered those on air, that it was causing cancer in lab rats. And now there are literally more than 1,000 studies from universities and governments all over the world and in the United States saying, yes, a massive increase in brain tumors with substantive long-term 10-year use of cell phones. I mean, they have 10 and 20-year studies on this. And so am I a troglodyte? Am I someone who's afraid of technology? No, I love technology. It is neutral. It is how it is used. And so deploying that technology, it was known it was bad, and they just didn't care because they knew how profitable it would be. And MIT and others reported they knew it would be a great system to track and trace and tax the public. And that's what happened. Now, what do they do with the cell phone? They use it through satellite triangulation to the cell towers to track everywhere you go under Homeland Security, Act of 1996, the Telecommunications Act. And yes, folks, Homeland Security was first discussed in 1993. By the time they get around to telling you about something, it's already been around generally for more than a decade. Just like I told you, your driver's license was already a national ID card. I had the executive order from 1993. It's in my film from 1997. And I said, your license will still say Texas or Utah or Montana or Florida, but it will be nationalized. And then in 2000, it was internationalized and is already standardized worldwide in a worldwide database based in Brussels, another one in Zurich. And it all nexuses in with the Social Security administrations of the world. And they all have it under different names. It's all standardized. We have Head Start here. It's called Sure Start and Secure Start and similar names in Australia, in England, and in Canada. It's all the same. It's globally standardized. And now they're announcing in England and in Europe and in the U.S., hey, we're going to go ahead from Texas to Washington State, California, Portland, the city, and then the state of Oregon are really advanced to make you take a cell phone modem in your car and then tax you by the mile. And they admit they're also going to track everywhere you go with that system. And as we told you a decade ago, we read the federal grants for it. It first went in Indiana and in Texas, and then in New York, and then in New Jersey, and then in California. Cameras that the feds paid for, that they claim were for traffic, but now you notice in the last month they've announced, oh, we're tracking every car in real time and putting it in a database for at least 6 months everywhere you go and everywhere you travel, everything you do, everywhere you stop. And they announced it in a whole bunch of newspapers in the last month. They're now introducing it to the public. Kind of like last year, they announced, oh, guess what? Your driver's license is really a federal ID, standardized, and most states implemented it years ago. See how that works? And they're putting scanners that scan your body, create a naked image, a bare image of your body, put in a hard drive database, and now they're putting those on the street corners, and now they're going in the schools and face scanning cameras that scan your face. And they brag, oh, the face scanning cameras, they are scanning through the same cameras that are also scanning your license plate, because the camera isn't really scanning. It's going back to a computer system that does off the digital camera. So it can do multiple things. And it is tracking everywhere you go and everywhere you do. And when they get a positive on somebody they're watching or somebody they're tracking, they will double check it as a nexus point with the car you get into. And is that car registered to you? Because they say the cameras right now are about 99% accurate of, okay, that's Tom Jones, or that's John Doe, or that's, Janie Sixpack. But let's make sure that's a positive ID. Is she getting in a car that matches her or matches someone in her family or in her larger circles of friends and connections? And then they instantly scan the plate, and the computer with an algorithm pops up and says it's definitely Janie Sixpack because it's a 99% face scan ID. And now they're integrating the walk of Janie Sixpack. See, the cameras ID your face, they ID your car, And then they have the computer technicians and the computer experts and algorithm engineers at MIT, at the NSA, at the private agencies that are doing the data mining, integrating it. And so, you say, well, how do they learn Alex Jones's walk on the street? My gorilla-like stumble. How do they assess that? Well, they already have the face scan. They already have the license plate scan. They already have the ID number attached to my GPS tracked. Now, again, not GPS on the phone, GPS triangulated by the cell towers. They nexus all of that together and see now they can follow me as I walk down the street, and the computers automatically have it logged in. This is admitted at the NSA to automatically keep adding new algorithms to it, so now they have the positive ID on Alex Jones's walk. And people say, well, how would they get your walk? Well, they already know it's Alex Jones for my face. They already know it's Alex Jones for my cell phone. They already know it's Alex Jones for my license plate. They're scanning now, and they add the uploaded data, the new data, the upgraded data of my walk. Then they add to that with the computers, triangulating my walk, my cell phone, my car, my face scan. Now they have satellites on persons of interest, scan in, wait for me to get out of the car, and then get a read on my biometric signature from above, the shadow I cast, and the gait of my movement with my walk, and then they get 100% ID on that. Now they can track me from satellite above by the simple way I walk. And that's the Manhattan-style super technology that Bob Woodward's talking about. That's the real one, is that they can scan faces now, even if you cover your face off the heat signature of your face in a crowd, and have a drone fly by if you were in a football stadium with 100,000 people and shoot you, kill you, or send in a SWAT team on you. They also even have heat signatures on individual makes and models of cars down to the very car. After they know that's your car, they can get a heat signature from a drone or a satellite or a tethered blimp and track you with that. This is all admitted, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the technological grid and control system that they've set up, and they're always upgrading it. They're adding to it. They don't just know what you watch on TV through your TiVo or digital cable box. They don't just know that. No, my friend. They now know what you watch, and those shows are digitally scored, psychologically scored into a psychological algorithm. The ads are scored nationally, and detailed psychological breakdown on your personality type is also stored. That wasn't enough. A year and a half ago, Google announces in a press release they're using the cameras and microphones built into all the new computers, on most old computers, to physically watch and listen to you in your home, what you're listening to on the radio, not just what you're doing on the computer. And they use the example of your dog's barking. Now they know how to have dog food ads flash up on the computer. And they said, don't worry, a human isn't watching you. An AI computer system is. So that's how advanced this technological elite is. That's what we know about. And all over rural areas, billions of dollars have been spent in the United States and in Europe and in England to put little robotic cameras on tiny cables that have charging stations that they go back to every few hours in the trees. They've put them in Austin. When you hear about it, you'll hear, oh, some cameras were put up in rural areas to stop dumpers. But all Pentagon design, all hooked into Northcom, all hooked into the NSA. Grids of cameras, not just at every street corner in rural areas, but now on parkland and national parkland and state parkland. Little drones buzzing along on wires, in some cases 5 miles long. I remember in 1998, they announced in the paper in Austin, and I went and looked at the company's name up online. They called it gunshot detectors, but when you actually looked at the grant, it was microphones. They put up over 1,000 microphones, last time I checked a few years ago, in Austin, that are shotgun mics that listen to you at up to 200 yards away, everything you're saying. And you say, well, we don't have the personnel to listen to all that. NSA computers are recording for keywords what you say and do. That's all out of 1984, ladies and gentlemen, where Winston and his girlfriend you have to be authorized to even be able to breed. They run off to the, a little woodland area. And, of course, that's the area that's even more surveilled with microphones. So no expense is spared because it isn't about money for the elite. They print and issue the money. It's about control. They're already in control. They want even greater, more hyper-dominant control. And, of course, it's all unconstitutional. It's all illegal. So the point is, the architecture of the technological upheaval has been done from a wicked, malevolent, controlling, dominating position.